What's good, what's good? My name is Mr. X. Welcome to the Changing Times podcast. My name is Mr. X, as I said, and I've got my co-host today. We've got Say So. What's good, Say So?
What's good, Mr. X, man?
And yeah, we've got MD. Yes, what's good? So yeah, today, man, it's going to be quite a good day. We've got a nice sunny day, hopefully, for the rest of the day. We've got a guest from Brixton Kitchem that's going to be speaking about his business. But before we get started, I'd just like to give a big shout out to Storm Empowerment for presenting the show, and also Thrive LDN for funding the show as well. Big shout out to them. So we're going to get Solomon on the line now. So Solomon, are you there?
I'm there.
Okay, what's good, my G? And in the studio as well, we've got Say So. So Say So, what's up?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's good, Solomon?
And also we have MD. What's good?
What are you saying, Solomon? You good?
Okay, cool. Solomon, so we're going to start off the interview right now. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and a description of your business?
My name is Solomon Smith, and I'm the founder of a homeless charity called Brixton Soup Kitchen. Brixton Soup Kitchen is a service that provides hot meals and hot drinks, warm clothes, training to the homeless, needy and less fortunate in and around London. So when people hear Brixton Soup Kitchen, they automatically think we only cater for people in and around Brixton, and that is so not true. Our thing is we're an open door policy. So if anyone that needs support, we will provide the support.
So what made you start off this business, and how long ago was that when you started?
Do you know what? For me, it was from childhood. So from childhood, it was like, so growing up on a council estate in Brixton. So I grew up on a lot of people know it as Summer Leighton. It was Moreland's estate, and it was typical. So especially like in the early 90s, if you was going out to play and that, like your parents would say, make sure I can see you. You see what I'm saying? So I wasn't allowed off my estate, and it kind of got into I was a bit older, where the whole thing where you don't really leave your estate. And on my estate, it was kind of designed to kind of have a school, a nursery, shops. So like the parishes in Jamaica.
Yeah.
In each parish in Jamaica, they've got their own school, their own church, their own shops, their own supermarkets. So you don't really have to leave the parish. That's what it was like in on my estate. So we had really no reason to kind of come off the estate because we had everything there, you know what I mean? And I remember kind of going to my friend's, like one of my good friend's house, and he was raised by his nan. My next friend was raised by the brother. My next friend was raised by an uncle. So I was used to kind of seeing people not be raised by their mum or be raised by their dad. And for me, when I go home, I was lucky to have my mum and my dad. And it was a thing where a lot of my friends would kind of come to my house, but they didn't want to leave. So I'm saying, like, big man, don't you want to go home? Like, it's past 11 o'clock and we got school tomorrow. And then one of my friends at the time was like, do you know what? I've never been in a house where a man has been in the house.
Same.
And that's when it hit me. I was literally about 10, 11. And that's when it hit me like, like, I take this for granted. Because a lot of my friends are going back home, but they're going home to cousins and uncles. I had a friend, and for him, if he didn't go out and steal, he literally wouldn't eat.
Same.
So it was a thing where the houses in Summer Leighton, they were all the same. So my house will be the same as all of my other friends' house. It will just be different, like what's actually in your house. And when I would go in, so I'm used to going home. I've got a cupboard with ice lollies. I've got a cupboard with cakes and cookies. I've got a next cupboard where it's got seasonings. So when I'm going to his house, I'm thinking, right, you've got a cake cupboard, you've got a biscuit cupboard. So when I'm going into his cupboard, there's nothing there. It's looking like he's just moved in. When you've just moved in and the cupboards just look super clean, like there's like it was like that. And I was like, bro, like, where's your cakes and that? It was like, bro, I don't buy cakes. I don't have no money. You know, if I'm going out stealing, I have to go and steal corned beef and rice. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, my grandma, she's too old to make me food. She's always in her room. And I'm like, what? Literally, we was about 11 years old. So
Right.
I remember, so especially like during the week, I had to wash down the skirting board. I had to hoover, had to clean for me to get my pocket money. So every week I would get £3. So I would do it, get £3, save it, do it, get £3, save it. And then I remember I saved about £8, and then I used my £8 and I took him to Quick Save. Do you guys remember Quick Save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took him to Quick Save, and Quick Save, you know, you can buy no frills baked beans, no
Right.
frills
Everything for that
biscuits.
kind of money, fam.
You can buy a whole shopping for £8 on no frills. But for me, it was like I needed to make sure he had baked beans. I needed to make sure he had fish fingers, he had burgers, he had bread. All these things that I was used to having, I had to make sure he had it in his house.
That's deep,
You
brother.
know, and
That's
then
deep.
I done that a couple of times. So every time when I was getting pocket money, my mum didn't know why I was going extra hard cleaning the house, saying, "Mum, I need that money. I need that money." She didn't notice until I went to university when I said to her, "Mum, you know all that money I was making, I was buying my brethren food from Quick Save and that." Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And from me, and from at 11 is when I kind of learned. Even though it was for me, it was learning to do kind of basic skills for like survival. So if I was to live by myself, I can manage money, I could buy stuff, but at the same time, it taught me about giving back because I didn't really need. Do you see what I'm saying? I can
Same.
go back home, I can get a cooked meal, I can have dessert with it. I've got drinks to choose from, biscuits to choose from. Go home, I've got PlayStation, I've got a carpet. If it's cold, I can turn on the heating. These are the things that we take for granted.
Same.
And for me being from 10, 11, me starting to appreciate it, a lot of the times we appreciate what's not bad, but we appreciate to always want more.
Yeah.
But from us wanting more, we never appreciate what we actually have in front of us now.
Yeah.
You
That's the kind
know,
of
and
generation now, isn't it? It's the way we're thinking now, isn't it?
basically, and it's not until when you're at home and then your boiler stops working,
Yeah.
and then and then you start to realize how much really importance the boiler has.
See. And then you see them
I'm
homeless in the cold, and you're thinking, how the hell are they sitting out in the
Yes,
cold?
yes, and that's when it literally hit me
Yeah.
when I started secondary school, and I didn't have my mum walking to me, but I didn't have my mum walking with me in Brixton. So I'm walking in Brixton by myself, jumping on a bus by myself, coming home, and I'm thinking, wow, let me see what's over there in Brixton where I've never gone to before. So all these parts that my mum didn't ever take me to, I said, wow, let me go over there and see what it's like. And that's when I was exposed to actual homelessness.
Yeah, man, that's sick. Yes, MD asking the question just in case you didn't know the difference between the voice. Big up with your story and that, man. I really respect it and I really feel it because I've had similar situations. Maybe not as bad, but yeah, I
Yeah.
really feel that. I just wanted to know how you kind of grew it into an actual business. So I know you probably started like with the homeless thing, but how did you actually grow it into an ongoing business?
Do you know what? It was for me, I wouldn't say it was difficult, yeah. But it was like we had to do because remember we're now going into the charity world. Now in my mind, I'm thinking charity is all to deal with, supporting each other.
Yeah,
We've all got the same goals, and it's totally not that. It's totally about how could my charity have all the numbers and create all the income. Where when I'm looking at the charities, I'm like, huh? We're doing the same goal. Like our mission is all the same,
yeah,
where their missions are not the same. When I started to realize that when I'm seeing all these adverts on TV talking about give £3 a month, and I was like, do you guys remember children in need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that still about?
I think so. I remember watching Children in Need when I was in secondary school. I think I was like in year 7. And I was like, wow, they raised like 40 million.
Bare millions.
That must cover children in need. But then the next year, I'm still seeing children in need again. And then they raised like 60 million. I'm like, okay. And then the next year, they raised an X amount of million. And I'm thinking, so why all this money raised, but there's still children in need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me when I was just like, not a lot of people.
Where's the money going to? Where's the money going to?
Where's the bread going to? So I'm saying, if they're doing all of this malarkey with paper, for us who's coming from Brixton, we've got a black face on there, and we've got charity on there. Big man that don't mix.
Yeah.
People's already gonna have stigmas,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, the stigmas what people are gonna have is gonna come from other black people.
Do you find that a lot as well? That
100%. 100%. Boy, look, he's going on holiday, probably using the charity money. Boy, he's on Miami, he's using the charity money. Boy, he's in a nice car, he's using the charity money.
Yeah, man. That's why I kind of asked that question about their business, because I feel like a lot of people look into things and always think the worst out of it.
So if you had $1 million right now, what would you do with it? How would you spend it?
If I was to have $1 million right now, firstly, I'll pay my staff, and I would also want to have a soup kitchen in every borough, not just in the UK, but all around the world. So that's one of the main reasons why we've done something in Miami, we've done something in Toronto, in Jamaica, and we're literally at the process right now. We've got 2 people in Ghana as we speak, just looking for where the homeless spots are, and he's going to start setting up shop.
That's it, man. Well, you just put into the world now, so you never know. That energy could just come to you hard, and you get £1 million just go into your account anytime soon, fam.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I have to say respect for what you're doing, actually, because I didn't know, obviously, the depths of what you were doing and everything, and obviously through the pandemic as well. And tell us basically, how do you see the future of your business now evolving?
So for us, it's just kind of, we have to kind of go on how the whole structure of the UK right now. So if it's still going to be kind of, social distancing and things like that, our main thing is still, we want to still provide a service in the safest way possible. So even if it's for us to guide more to doing more families, we're literally starting off on a new thing where we're calling it Brixton Soup Kitchen on Tour. So we're going to be trying to hire some minibuses and just set up a miniature soup kitchen in each area. So we're going to go to Ladbroke Grove, get a table, get some food, get some bits to give out, give that out. Then we're going to go to North London, East London, Bedford, Manchester, Birmingham, and just be there. So it's going to be like we're on tour, but we're actually providing a service.
Okay. That's sick. Well, again, I'd like to thank you again for joining us on the Changing Times podcast, Solomon. It's very insightful. And just like to say big up to my co-host, Say So. What's good?
Yeah, what's good?
And
Solomon.
And MD, man.
MD.
Yeah, respect you, man.
As well. So thank you very much, Solomon, for coming on the show again and sharing your knowledge and expertise and stuff like that. And hope things go well with you again. I mean, hopefully when this winter comes, hopefully it doesn't go back to how it was before. That's what we'll keep our fingers crossed and stuff like that. But no doubt, hopefully you sound like a survivor. You know what I mean? And,
No, definitely.
And no doubt, basically, we'll spread the word about the soup kitchen as well.
No, thank you.
Okay, so thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll hopefully speak again soon.
All right, then.
All right, then, brother. Take care, bro.
All right, thanks.
All right, man. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was Solomon, and just big up for everyone for joining us on the Changing Times podcast. Big up to Say So, big up to MD. I'd like to thanks again to Storm Empowerment and Thrive London for their support. So until next time, see you soon. Peace.